How was the earth created? A Santal myth story. In the beginning, there was only water. Deep down the ocean was the earth. As there was no land, the Supreme Lord Thakkur Jew created aquatic animals first, namely the crab, the crocodile, the alligator, the boarfish, the prawn, the earthworm, the tortoise, and others. After that, the Lord wondered, whom shall I make now? He decided, he will make a man and a woman. Soon, Thakkur took some earth from the bottom of the ocean and created 2 human beings. Thakkur just finished making the 2 humans and was about to put the soul in them, but the Sinsatam, day horse, came down from heaven and trampled them to pieces. When Thakkur got to know about this, he was furious. Dejected, the Lord decided that he would not make them of the earth, but shall make birds first. So he pulled the material from his chest and made a gander Hans and a goose Hansel. They looked beautiful together. Just when the Thakkur blew life in them, they flew together far away. But as there was no land anywhere to be found, the Hans and the Hansel would always come back and sit on the Thakkur's shoulders. Once the day horse came down from heaven to drink water. He was exhausted from the travel, and his mouth was foaming as a result of this. A big lump of foam fell from his mouth on the ocean. The Thakkur said to the birds, "Go Hans and Hansel, make this froth your home." The birds did as the Thakkur said. The froth carried the birds like a boat on the endless water. But there was another problem. There was no food for the birds. So they went back to Thakkur and explained their situation. After listening to the issues of Hans and Hansel, Thakkur decided, let there be earth above water. So Thakkur called upon the alligator and asked him, "Will you be willing to bring up earth from the bottom of the ocean to build an island?" The alligator was obliged to fulfill Thakkur's desires and be of service to him. So the alligator went down the ocean, put some soil on its back, and came back up. As soon as it reached the top, it realized that all the earth it was carrying got dissolved in the water. Thakkur saw that the alligator had given up. So Thakkur called upon the prawn to bring back some earth from the bottom of the ocean. The prawn tried to bring some in its claws, but again it got dissolved in the water. After that, Thakkur called the boarfish and the stone crab, but none of them could bring any soil to the surface. Finally, without much hope left, Thakkur called upon the earthworm, and asked him whether he would bring up soil from the bottom of the ocean. The earthworm agreed, but it wanted the tortoise to stand on the water first. So Thakkur called upon the tortoise and asked whether he would be willing to stand on the water so that earthworm could bring up soil from the bottom of the ocean. The tortoise agreed to Thakkur's request, and so to keep the tortoise steady, Thakkur chained the 4 legs of the tortoise in 4 directions. The earthworm then put its head on the bottom of the ocean, and its tail over the tortoise's back. The earthworm swallowed earth from the bottom of the sea, and brought it up on the tortoise's back. After some time, there was enough soil for the entire world. Thakkur then plowed the land to flatten it, and those places with an excessive heap of dirt became hills and mountains. One day, the foam which was floating around got stuck to the landmass. Thakkur took this opportunity to sow the first seed on that froth, the serum seed. After that he planted the dubi grass, then Karam tree followed by Tapasarjam, Labrotnik, Ladiamakam, and then all other kinds of vegetations. These trees made the earth firm. Hans and Hansel made a nest for themselves with serum plants, and Hansel laid 2 eggs in them. Hans would go around to find and bring food while Hansel would incubate the eggs. When the eggs hatched, 2 human beings were born, a boy and a girl. Seeing the 2 human babies, Hans and Hansel were delighted but also got worried. They asked Thakur, "How shall we feed our babies?" Thakur gave them some cotton and said that whatever you eat, press the juice of that in the cotton and put it in their mouth to suck. By sucking and getting nutrition this way, the babies grew and started to walk tiny steps. Hans and Hansel were anxious about where would they put these 2 children when they grow up. So Thakur asked them to fly around and look for land masses. They went towards the west and found a place named Hiripapiri. The 2 birds returned to Thakur and informed him about what they saw. The Thakur said Hans and Hansel that they should take the babies there when they are old enough to take care of themselves. So when they became old enough, Hans and Hansel carried there by putting them on their backs and flying them to Hiripapiri. The names of the first humans were Pilhu Haram and Pilhu Buddy. Both of them grew up in Hiripapiri eating grains of the Sumtabukuk grass and Sama grass. And they lived there happily ever after.